Welcome to WEIBLUESKY Novels. Thank you for joining me. Now, let's begin today's story.
Chapter 4, You Will Become a Legend. The tavern still pulsed with life. Laughter. The clink of cups. Voices calling across the room. Nothing had changed. Yet Li Yuankai's world felt as though someone had pressed it to a halt. Li Bai's question still lingered in the air. What kind of man am I? The words had been spoken lightly, yet they rested on his chest like a stone. He looked at Li Bai. Those eyes were bright, open, without a trace of ambition. They were not the eyes of a man about to become a legend. They belonged instead to someone who simply lived within the present moment. Suddenly, Li Yuankai found himself reluctant to speak, because he knew how the story ended. He knew that one day, this man would be known as the immortal poet. He also knew that his life would be anything but easy. Li Yuankai began, only to fall silent again. Li Bai did not press him. He simply watched, quietly, waiting for an answer. It was also waiting for a possibility. Li Yuankai drew a slow breath. You will become. He hesitated. A famous man. The moment the words left his mouth, they felt hopelessly inadequate. Li Bai raised an eyebrow. Famous. There was the faintest trace of amusement in his voice. Most people who become famous, Li Bai said, are dreadfully uninteresting. He lifted his bowl and gave the wine a gentle swirl. If that's all you have to say, I'm afraid it's rather disappointing. Li Yuankai let out a wry smile. He was right. To this man, fame meant nothing at all. Li Yuankai looked up. This time, he did not look away. You will write countless poems. Li Bai nodded. I already do. Not like that, Li Yuankai said. His voice, at last, grew steady. Your poems, Li Yuankai said softly, will still be remembered. More than 1,000 years from now. The words settled between them. Li Bai did not move. The sounds of the tavern seemed to drift into the distance. He looked at Li Yuankai. For the first time, his gaze turned completely serious. More than 1,000 years. He repeated the words under his breath. People still read my poems. There was no trace of vanity in the question. Only the faintest tremor. So slight, it was almost impossible to hear. Li Yuankai nodded. A great many people. He paused. Children will memorize them. Adults will return to them when their hearts are heavy. And there are those who, late at night. His voice trailed off, because he suddenly realized he was speaking about himself. Li Bai said nothing. Slowly, he set his bowl down. One finger lightly tapped its rim. A single clear note rang through the air, as though a thought had finally come to rest. Then, he said, which line do they remember? Li Yuankai looked at him. His heartbeat suddenly became impossible to ignore. He knew the answer. But he also knew that once he spoke those words, they would no longer be merely an answer. They would become a stone cast into still water. He said it anyway, very softly. I raise my head. to gaze at the bright moon. Li Bai's hand paused for the briefest moment. Then he smiled. Not with laughter, but with the kind of smile that appeared when moonlight settled gently upon the surface of wine. It's a fine line. Li Bai spoke almost to himself. Who wrote it? Li Yuankai felt his entire body tense. The air itself seemed to turn to stillness. His lips parted, but no words came. But he found he could not speak, because that poem did not exist. Not yet. And he had just spoken it aloud. Li Bai looked at him. There was no suspicion in Li Bai's eyes. Only curiosity. What is it? Is this something you cannot tell me, either? Li Yuankai's fingers slowly curled into a fist. Then, all at once, he realized something. Perhaps this moment was the beginning. The very beginning. Slowly, he spoke. His voice barely above a whisper. Perhaps it was you. Li Bai froze for a heartbeat. Then he smiled. You do have a way with words. He lifted his bowl. Very well. I'll remember it. Softly, he repeated the line. I raise my head to gaze at the bright moon. This time, he spoke more slowly, as though he were trying it on. Or perhaps, listening to it. He did not speak the next line. He simply let the words rest there. Something in his gaze had quietly changed, as though a light had just been kindled. Li Yuankai felt his heart sink. He did not know whether he should feel relieved or afraid, because, all at once, he understood. That poem had perhaps never simply been written down. Perhaps it had come into being in this very moment. Someone in the tavern burst into laughter. Someone else raised a cup in celebration. The world had not changed. And yet, something had quietly shifted. Li Bai lowered his eyes, looking into his wine. Very softly, he said, "How fascinating." Then he looked up at Li Yuankai. You. A smile touched his face. I'd like to know you better. Li Yuankai did not answer, because there was only one thought in his mind. Perhaps he was no longer an observer.
Thank you for listening to WEIBLUESKY novels. Until next chapter, take care and keep dreaming.